Hi guys, very, very excited to be here. Just let me introduce myself. My name is Chris, and I'm here from NUI Galway tonight. So, in my day job, I work with a group called Curam. So what we do, we're like biomedical engineers, and we look at new materials for like stem cells, biology, that kind of thing. So like, technically my job is coming up with new material, but like this is actually still, super alien to me. So we'll see how we go, okay? So let's get those expectations like comfortable. But anyway, like what's encouraging to me is that, I have to come up with enough jokes to fill about 8 minutes. But luckily, I'm taking inspiration from the fact that Big Bang Theory made it through about 12 years on the strength of about 4 jokes. So, I mean, like in order, those jokes are, normies can't play Star Wars in our treehouse. Women can't do science. What's the deal with funny accents? Bazinga. So, if I've pegged your expectations low enough, I'll work from there. So, so I'm very glad that, you guys are here because comedy is a great way to, break the kind of barrier between like scientists and everybody else, because nobody's first experience of either science or scientists or comedy should be the Big Bang Theory. So, actually, I should probably just like stop putting the boot into that in case I alienate any fans. But I'll just diffuse that by saying that a good 60% of my animosity is just from being called like Sheldon for like, super like top shelf stuff like, liking Avengers movies and knowing fractions. So, like, but anyway, that being said, like I said, there's kind of comedy is a great way to get people to kind of connect with science and stuff, because in fairness, I don't think I've always been the best ambassador for science, especially with like, the sticky sciences, because I'm a biologist. Oftentimes people are a little kind of like weirded out by what that actually entails or don't have a good idea of what that really entails. So, basically, some of the things that kind of seem normal when you're doing them on an everyday basis, you forget that they're a bit creepy to like people who are sort of outside the tent. I mean, if anybody here is a scientist, you've probably had that experience. Like, I remember at one point I was mentioning what I did to, an ant of mine. I'm actually, sorry, that came out wrong. I didn't do anything to an ant of mine. Like, I was describing, you get it. Anyway. So, I mean, I said to her that I was, a neuroscientist. I was like, oh, Europe scientist. It'll be really nice to travel. So at that kind of point, I was like, yeah, Europe scientist, it's great, see the world, love it. But, so I just left it at that. But, other stuff like the fact that, as a biologist, you kind of at some point have to end up doing like animal studies. And that creeps people out a bit. And I've lost vegan friends because of this. But also their personalities and other reasons. But partially the animal thing. And like, that's the kind of thing that, I remember at one point as particularly weird for me as a neuroscientist because, you work with lab rats and things like that. And, I just full disclosure, I love animals and so do most scientists. We're nice, friendly people, but it's an unfortunate part of the job and it's something that you just kind of have to deal with. So actually it was especially weird for me because my sister, who's here tonight by the way, but anyway, we had a pet rat at home, so that made things twice as weird. But I remember at one point, she was asking me about this, and I was trying to like explain that, these rats actually have a really nice life. They're taken care of really well, and they have nice food, and they have all their playmates around, and they get to like socialize and everything else, and they have nice toys, and they're well cared for, and we look after them. And my sister was asking me, it's like, do you ever get to give your rats a stroke? And as a neuroscientist, I was kind of like, in a manner of speaking. So, it is what it is. But again, you get acclimatized, and I am numb. So yeah. Anyway. There's other stuff as well, like, again, like, it's just the sort of thing that it seems super normal because you do it every day. And it's like, a lot of my work involves stem cells and things like that, which is, it's really interesting, it's really cool work. But it also sort of means that, like, there's times when I've kind of just forgot that like it's not normal to have 10 tabs open on like the cheapest place to buy bone marrow. Like, so like, I mean, this freaked out other people on the train like massively. So like, because like there's no good way to explain to the person sitting next to you that you're not a serial killer if you have like 10 tabs open looking for somebody who's like under 30, not a smoker, has no blood-borne diseases. Like, you know, it sounds like the world's most sociopathic Tinder profile. It's like, you know, isolated young white man seeking. You know? So, yeah. So that's a conversation that I've reluctantly had. But yeah, so actually, fun fact, I mean, it's just weird to me that you can actually buy bone marrow on the internet. I mean, for like about the price of a MacBook, you know, like signed, sealed and delivered. I don't know if that's too much money or not enough. Like, it's just super weird to me. But yeah, so for context, the reason why this weird thing happened was because, as I mentioned, I'm a stem cell biologist. So, I mean, like a lot of the work that's being done with the lab I'm in involves that, and it's really, really cool. But one thing that kind of, you know, people sometimes find stem cell stuff kind of controversial, and there's actually a reason for that, which is that, you know, stem cell research started off with embryos. Because, you know, if you think about it, a stem cell is a cell that can be any cell in the body, and so an embryo becomes an entire person. So that's obviously where stem cell research started. But one thing that I've been asked to say on behalf of stem cell biologists is that, like, not all stem cell research is embryos. So yeah, if anybody's been online in Ireland in the last like 5 years, you'll kind of know that like anything dealing with embryos brings on, shall we say, strong views. So people have shared those at me loudly. So I just kind of like to dispel that. So it's super interesting. So yeah, that's kind of what we're working on. So yeah, I'm going to be 100% honest. I have not written an excellent exit for this routine. So I've kind of talked myself to what I feel is a natural departure point for this routine. And so based on that, I'm going to leave you with an infuriating joke as befits the situation. So there are two types of scientists in this room. Those who can extrapolate from incomplete data sets. Thank you very much, everybody.